Hello and welcome to Levant TV Headlines. US Secretary of State John Kerry is set for talks Thursday with the Palestinian leader on easing regional tensions after Israel approved new settler homes in East Jerusalem despite mounting unrest. US forces have carried out the overwhelming majority of airstrikes against Islamic State jihadists since August, with American warplanes conducting about 85% of the raids, the Pentagon said. The Egyptian military said one of its Navy vessels came under terrorist attack in the Mediterranean on Wednesday, leaving 5 servicemen injured and 8 others missing at sea. Now let's take a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. The Jordan Times reports that traction is growing for one of the few ideas left for peace in Syria's civil war: work out a series of local ceasefires to try to quiet the bloodiest fronts around the country without tackling the core issues of the conflict between President Bashar Assad's government and the rebels. The UN envoy to Syria called Tuesday for such an incremental truce in the northern city of Aleppo as a building block for more, an idea that Assad has said is worth studying. The Daily Star comments that in Beirut, Health Minister Wael Abu Faour on Thursday revealed the names of more restaurants, bakeries and supermarkets selling contaminated food in the latest high-profile food industry scandal that has dominated Lebanese headlines since Tuesday. Abu Faour vowed to push ahead with his clampdown despite the heavy attacks by his colleagues in the cabinet who thought his move was destructive. The paper also reports that a German court convicted 4 men on Thursday of being members or supporters of Al-Qaeda and are planning a potentially lethal attack on German soil, handing them sentences of up to 9 years behind bars. From the Khalij Times, global regulators announced on Wednesday $3.2 billion in fines against 5 major US and European banks for attempting to manipulate foreign exchange markets. The hefty fines centered on London, the world's biggest hub for the $5.3 trillion per day forex market, and the British government hailed a move to clean up corruption in the city. The paper also reports that Arab leaders in the Gulf could hold a special meeting to resolve differences within their ranks ahead of a scheduled annual summit in Qatar next month, newspapers said on Wednesday. According to Kuwaiti daily Al Anbar, consultations are underway to convene an informal meeting of Gulf Cooperation Council leaders before their December 9th to 10th summit in Doha. Now let's take a look at the Middle East headlines in the UK papers. Starting with The Guardian, Qatar has been cleared to host the 2022 World Cup after FIFA's Ethics Committee ruled that any breaches of the rules were only of a very limited scope and closed its investigation into the controversial bidding process. The governing body's Ethics Committee has decided that after an 18-month investigation by the former New York District Attorney Michael Garcia, there is not sufficient evidence to justify stripping either Russia or Qatar of the 2018 or 2022 tournaments. And in The Independent, the site in Mecca where the Prophet Muhammad is said to have been born is about to be buried under marble and replaced by a huge royal palace. The work is part of a multi-billion-pound construction project in the Holy City, which has already resulted in the destruction of hundreds of historic monuments. The project, which began several years ago, aims to expand the Grand Mosque to cater for the millions of pilgrims who make their way to the Holy City each year for the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca that all Muslims are obliged to make at least once. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in international papers. The Deutsche Welle reports that Israel has denied entry to a UN human rights team seeking to probe this summer's war in the Gaza Strip. Authorities in Jerusalem have given their initial approval to the construction of 200 new settlement homes. On Wednesday, Israel's foreign ministry formally refused to cooperate with the Commission of Inquiry sent by the UN Human Rights Council to investigate the actions of both sides during the summer's war in Gaza. And finally, from the New York Times, it has been reported that in Egypt, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi issued a law on Wednesday allowing him to deport non-Egyptians convicted of crimes to their home countries, a move that could lead to the release of at least one of the 3 journalists who have been imprisoned for almost a year. The 3 journalists, convicted on June of conspiring with the Muslim Brotherhood to broadcast false news and sentenced to between 7 and 10 years in prison after a trial that was dismissed as a farce by human rights activists. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.